Gov and Greg behind the glass. Dustin Fiocco on the updates. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Good.
How was your Monday? Yeah?
Solid?
good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a Monday. Yeah.
2 Monday night games. Started a little bit earlier.
That's right.
Get in the game.
Couple
ready
duds,
to go. Yeah. It was a couple duds, but at least, hey, you get there, you get done with dinner, you get everything cleaned up, and all of a sudden you don't have to wait till 8 o'clock or 8:15. Boom! 7 o'clock.
Better
game time.
Better game started earlier, so it all worked out that way.
Yeah. And it's always nice to see Aaron Glenn. I wish we could see him win a game.
Boy, does he have his work cut out for him. I mean,
Well, I don't know if he's hooked his wagon to Justin Fields. Obviously, they brought him in. Justin Fields is just not a starting quarterback in the league.
no, but like all the things you'd look for like a well-coached team, you wouldn't have turnovers and penalties, and you could stop the run. Like, they got a lot of work to do in New York.
There's certainly a lot of work to do, and I'm hoping that he gets the year one mulligan, and they're going to get a good draft pick. They're going to be drafted high in every round, and hopefully they'll spend a little money in free agency. They'll build it through the draft, and boom, they'll be in the game.
We also, if you stayed up a little later, got a chance to see the Lions' next opponent. More on that a little later.
Oof.
Troy Aikman not holding back at the end of that broadcast. Anyway, let's talk about the Tigers. Let's attempt to hit the reset button
I hit it
and
already.
start over. Okay.
Attempt to hit it now. I mean, I hit it when they clinched a spot in the postseason.
So you've just, like Men in Black, you've erased your memory of the last month. You're ready to go.
Yeah, start fresh.
All right.
I mean, this is where you have to, for the players and for the entire organization, forget about what happened. Start fresh, 0-0. And hopefully all the pressure is gone now. I don't know that there's any pressure on them to, you're just go as far as you can. Because the lead of 15 and a half games, the Guardians, the Kansas City Royals, all of that stuff is gone. It's in the past. You are in the postseason. You are sitting there, maybe not on equal footing with anybody else because you're on the road. Cleveland has that edge, but you've got the best pitcher in the American League. He's going in game one. And the stats say if you win game one, you're going to win the series. Since they expanded the playoffs, Major League Baseball, in the wild card round, the team that has won game one has won every single series.
12-0.
In fact, last year, there was only one team that had to go to three games before they eventually, it was the Padres Mets. And so it's, if you win game one, history says you win the series. And more than likely, you win it in 2 games.
Right, with only the one exception.
Yeah.
So you say, like, hey, they can play free, they can play loose. That doesn't only apply to the Tigers. Everybody just made the playoffs and can take a deep breath, and they're 0-0.
Yes.
Why does it only apply to Detroit and not Cleveland?
Well, I'm not saying it doesn't apply to them. I didn't say that.
Oh, okay.
I'm talking about the Tigers.
Okay.
You start fresh. And then I mentioned they have the best pitcher in the American League.
Okay. And Cleveland has better pitching overall, right? Which I think is a huge feather in their cap. Like, look, the advantage for Detroit is they send Tarek Skubal to the mound. It's a great advantage to have because of the numbers you just gave.
And you throw pitch limits, pitch counts, all that stuff out the window.
The issue is they don't automatically win Tarek Skubal starts.
They're 0-0.
They are 0-0, which means they haven't won a Tarek Skubal start yet.
No.
So let's certainly not push that they're winning the Tarek Skubal
And
start
the Guardians
today.
haven't won a Williams start. They haven't won a Bybee start.
So what I'm going to attempt to do is use some kind of information and data pertaining to Tarek Skubal and the Cleveland Guardians. I know you don't want to use September. I want to point out how the Tigers hit the Cleveland Guardians pitching in those Skubal starts.
I'm not going to fully ignore September.
Okay.
I'm not going to fully ignore 162 games. This is the team that has entered the playoffs. And certainly, I think in baseball, more than in any other sport, and I don't know if it's pressure, if it's expectations. I don't know what it is when you get to the postseason. I don't believe there's a switch that you just flip and say, playoff baseball, I'm going to hit.
Right. That's my big fear is will they hit enough to take advantage and capitalize on the fact that they have Tarek Skubal going to the bump, which gives them the edge in the series. But if they waste that edge because they can't hit, that's how things go south in a hurry, and it's what happened at the end of the season. In the last 2 Skubal starts against the Guardians, the Tigers scored 3 total runs. They hit 161 with 29 strikeouts and only 6 walks. So if you're not hitting the ball, if you're not getting on base, if you're swinging and missing, you're going to waste the Tarek Skubal start. They've had the perfect recipe to do it down the stretch. And in terms of their lineup today, they're going to face a righty, Gavin Williams, which puts an emphasis on Karp and Green, a pair of lefties. The Tigers' third best bat against right-handed pitching. Another lefty, Cole Keith, is not going to play today. So it puts even more on Green and Carpenter. And we know Carpenter had the moment last year. Going to need some moments out of Green in this series.
So the month of September, not good for the Tigers. Not good for Tarek Skubal. They've lost the last 3 Tarek Skubal starts. Mm-hmm. Prior to that, they've never lost back. They did lose back-to-back to start the season, where it was a loss to the Dodgers and a loss to Seattle. The rest of the year, it was never back-to-back losses. So do you think they're going to go not just 3 Skubal starts in a row, but 4? Odds are in their favor that at some point a bat is going to make contact with a ball.
So this is they're due theory.
Come on. You got to work with me a little bit. They are due.
Look, I don't want this to
They're
be
due
misconstrued.
to beat Cleveland at some point, right?
Sure. Look, I think we're at the opposite ends of the spectrum here on the question, are you able to hit the reset button? I hope to hell the team has hit the reset button, and publicly they have. If they've hit the reset button, great. As a fan, have you hit the reset button? It's just so hard to get it out of your head because This is who you're playing, is who you just played. You just watched this.
I also think that when there were expectations on this team, when they did have the lead, there was this pressure of all you got to do is win one game. And I know that's the same right now. All you got to do is win one game, but it's different because you do have the confidence of going to the mound in a 3-game series, and I think they have good odds to win a 3-game series. I think if you go to 5 games, now all of a sudden, I don't know. You go to 7, I don't think so.
Yeah, it's a great way of putting it. Okay, you have some deficiencies with this baseball team. Even reset at 0-0. You can cover up for more of them in a 3-game series, and you can cover up for more of them when Tarek Skubal pitches game 1. It's why we wanted him to be set aside and placed just so he could be on the mound today at 1 o'clock against the Guardians. It is their best advantage. That advantage matters more in a 3-game series than a 5 or a 7. If they're going to win a series, this is the one they're most likely to win.
And if you get the best of Skubal, you get the best of Mize, get the best of Flaherty in a 3-game series, you can win a 3-game series. The issue becomes in a 5-game series of getting the best of Mize twice.
Right.
Flaherty best of getting Flaherty twice. Yikes. Or I mean, and if you work out the days where Skubal's going to pitch game 1, which is on Tuesday, game 1 for the next series is Saturday. Does he pitch Saturday, or does he have to wait till Sunday?
Yeah, I mean, you'd have him. Well, do the math.
It's Sunday.
It'd be Sunday, right?
5 days. That's the 5 days. 4 days rest.
Right. Yeah. So in a 5-game series, in this scenario, this is why you wanted to buy.
Yeah.
In a 5-game series,
you're only getting him once on full rest.
Yeah.
Unless they choose to start him short rest to keep him as an option for game 5 in the second round. They got to get there first, but these are the questions you'd ask.
So he's going to pitch today. He's going to pitch Sunday if they advance, and he will pitch Friday in a game 5.
Oh, because of the off days.
Yes.
Travel. Okay.
Yeah, it's set up exactly like last year. 1 in round 1, and then games 2 and 5 in the ALDS.
Can I ask a Skubal question for today? Is he going to hit 100 pitches? Because he didn't in any of his postseason starts last year.
Well, we're getting to that point where they obviously have to make a decision this offseason. Trade him, keep him, extend him. And if you keep him, you're probably just keeping him to lose him next year, so you're not going to get anything in return. If he's worth, what are they saying, $40 million a year, $50 million a year? Whatever he's worth, he better be able to go however long you need him to go today to get a win.
I would have thought that last year too, though, right? Like, you're in the playoffs, don't hold anything back. He's a Cy Young winner. He threw 88 pitches in their first playoff game last year, 92 in their second, and then we all know that the third playoff game didn't go so good. He only had 84 pitches, and he got
some of it will be, TBD in regards to, if he's at 95 pitches and they've got a 6-0 lead.
Yeah.
All right.
You can turn it to the bullpen.
Yeah, because now you want the best of him in game 2 of the ALDS.
So you don't seem that confident at all, Jim.
I'm not.
I think you're underestimating the fresh plate, fresh start they get here, the reset button.
But so does
And
Cleveland.
The collective exhale.
Yes, they all admitted that it was weighing on them, and they get to put their best lineup out there today because they're facing a righty. Everything's in favor for them to win today. So doesn't mean they're going to, but I like their chances today. They're favored to win the series.
I know they are. They're minus
You gonna bury
165
them?
to win today, and they're minus 125 to win the series. Look, maybe it's
It
the greatest.
sounds like you feel like they have no chance. You might as well just bring out the shovel.
Maybe it's the greatest gift of all to our listeners that I'm not picking the Tigers to win this series.
I mean, if you're not, why not just go ahead and say they're done? They're toast. They got no chance.
I see what you're doing.
No, I'm just asking the
No,
question.
but we just talked about. It's not that they have no chance. They're pitching the best pitcher. They're favored to win game 1. The team that wins game 1 wins the series. They are in an advantaged position. So were they a week ago, and 2 weeks ago, and a month ago, and 2 months ago, and 3 months ago.
It's
so
a
you can
brand new
take your
series.
advantage position and shove it. You got to show me.
Real quick, do you think Sweeney starts today?
Are you trying to send me into a
They're facing a righty.
Because Javi, you don't want against a righty. So it's Trey Sweeney. Can you look up his batting average for me?
I'm just asking.
Okay.
He did hit a big home run in Cleveland this year.
Okay.
That's the day after that. Isn't that when you buried him?
Might have been right around that time. 248-539-9797. We want to know from you guys, are you able to hit that reset button? John is. The team sounds like they are. Can the fans hit the reset button and believe? Hey, the Tigers are favored to win this series. Do you believe?
I'll work on him at the break, and we either need a burial or we need a Costa Lock. Either one works.
We can workshop it.
Okay.
2 Grand Slam at 725. Dan Campbell at 802. It's 97.1. Want to tell you about Brightside Dental. Going to the dentist doesn't have to be a pain. Not with Brightside Dental. The Brightside experience. No lectures about what you're doing wrong with your dental care, and it's comfortable and painless, even if you have to get some work done. Numb you up, communicate every step, take care of you. 9 Metro Detroit locations, including one right around the corner from you. $35 new patient special, and there's no hidden fees. That covers exams, and it covers x-rays. Make an appointment. Get back in that routine. 1-800-PAINLESS. BrightsideDental.com. Tell them Jim Costa in the morning show sent you. That's Brightside Dental. No judgment. Just care. We asked Tiger fans, can you hit the reset button? Playoff baseball starts today. Tigers actually favored to win the series against the Guardians, and a lot of that comes down to the fact that they are heavy favorites today with Tarek Skubal on the mound. Tex says it's not about ignoring September. You'd have to ignore how they played since the All-Star break. They can't hit the ball. Cleveland beat Skubal the last time, scoring 3 runs without getting the ball out of the infield. I'll take my chances with the Guardians, Andrew, in Cleveland.
I don't think we're going to see the Skubal long snap again.
No. Oh, actually, he's saying the opposite. I'll take my chances against the Guardians because they're not going to get all these infield magic.
Again, yeah.
Okay. Glad I work nights so I don't have to watch the Tigers choke the next 2 days. I'll be sleeping.
Wake up and see what happened.
Guys, they already made history once by blowing a big lead. I'm nervous they'll win game 1 and be the first team to lose the series.
It would probably be the ultimate torture since this is a Tigers team that has repeatedly tortured Tigers fans, that they do win game 1 with Scoobs.
Yeah.
And then they lose the next 2, becoming the first team to ever do what that texter just said.
And again, John had the stat. Since they went to the format, teams that win game 1 are 12-0, win the series every single time. That's where the power comes from for Detroit. The fact that they have the chance to take game 1,
Tigers in 2,
and win the series. I've heard that a little bit.
Oh, you have?
Yeah, that was Valenti's whole bit yesterday.
Oh,
Tigers in 2, Tigers in 2, Tigers in 2.
Should I change my? No, I'm sticking with it.
Yeah,
Mike and I are simpatico.
Looking ahead for the Lions, guys, Sunday could be a bloodbath. The Bengals look horrendous, short week, and now they get to face Detroit, a team that's going to run the ball down your throat. You want an idea of how yesterday went for the Bengals? Here was Troy Aikman as the broadcast was wrapping up. I thought it went on more. Embarrassing effort. They had more penalties than first downs in the game. And, John, how many rushing yards did they give up? A million.
Yeah.
Add a 0.
No, they gave up 186 yards on the ground. And if you're going to give up 186 yards on the ground, so that is the first time for Denver. And I heard this one this morning. Denver has not had a 100-yard rusher since 22. And J.K. Dobbins had 101 yards. I just got over the mark, but that's kind of that watermark moment. And the Lions, we heard it from John Morton, going into the Cleveland game. There are too many teams in Ohio.
Yeah.
The Cleveland game, they haven't seen a rush attack like this.
Mm-hmm.
I agree that this is a 1-2 punch that the Lions have, especially with an offensive line that is continuing to develop and becoming dominant. If you're going to have a defensive front that's just going to, and okay, it's not new that Cincinnati's defense blows.
Right.
Same thing that we've been talking about, and it's some of the issues that Trey Hendrickson had when he was renegotiating. They got one dude. That's Trey Hendrickson. All right, so you commit some resources to stopping him and then let everybody else win their one-on-one matchups up front. And, I mean, is this an opportunity for this team to run for 300 yards?
It certainly feels that way.
Which would be epic.
I don't know if since he's quitting, I mean, it certainly felt like they were quitting yesterday. If you got a team with some quit in them, the worst thing that could happen to you is you have Detroit coming into town. Because Detroit's not going to stop. They're not going to let up. They're not going to feel sorry for you. They're not going to overlook you. They're going to roll you.
Are you even going to bother watching this game?
Why do you ask?
I don't know. I mean, because I mean, just the sentiment, the feel that we got. We know that if the Tigers win in 2, that they'll play on Sunday. Probably opposite.
A school start could be at the same time.
Yeah, and we know your love of playoff baseball, basketball, whatever it is.
Well, we know you pick the regular season game every time. You took regular season Tigers over playoff Pistons, so we know what you're going to do.
So to me, what is greater? Baseball over basketball. What is greater? Football over baseball. So yes, I will. But I know that you won't miss at least some of the Lions game because you got your favorite player in the NFL.
Gotta watch my guy. Hilarious. The answer would be 2 screens. It's 2025. All right, let's get to Heather with the news.
It's televised. It's televised.
It's streamed too. Heather, what's up?
Yes. So all of the people are now accounted for after the deadly shooting and fire at the Grand Blanc LDS Church. So according to the Grand Blanc police chief, authorities still searched the church, but all the people who were reported missing have been located.
Oh, good.
So that is good news ultimately. Now, when it does come to the victims, as of Monday, one victim was in critical condition with a gunshot wound to the abdomen and chest. Another victim with an abdominal gunshot wound was in critical but stable condition. And the other surviving victims were last listed in stable condition. We have also learned that one of the 4 victims who died in the attack has been identified as John Bond, a Navy veteran who was 77 years old. His family kind of described him. He had 6 children, 10 grandchildren, and like the last thing he wanted to do was talk to his wife. And the wife described that last moment with him. You know, he was talking about he needed his shoes shined. She's like, "Oh, that's silly. I love you." You know, like it doesn't matter. You know, so lots of things you can read about him. I'm sure we'll learn about the others as the days go on. Now, the father of the gunman, who's obviously responsible for this mass shooting and fire, has released several statements, not necessarily statements, but is speaking out, right? Saying that he and his family are absolutely devastated by his son's actions. He says he feels awful. He feels so bad for the families who are also affected by this because his family is affected by this as well. And his son was obviously a son to him, but a husband and a father, had a 10-year-old son as well. He says that he and his family are in complete shock and said that they have no answers. So they didn't release anything that could go towards a motive, and police are still obviously searching for a motive. In other news, a hospital employee at Mott Children's Hospital in Ann Arbor had to be rescued after getting trapped in an elevator.
Oh, no.
Thankfully, this person remained cool, calm, and collected because I probably would have. I think I could have handled it for a while, but I think then once you start realizing what's going on, because what happened is it got stuck, right? But it was stuck above the 7th floor. And they couldn't move it one way or the other. So they brought in fire department crews. And there was 2 options they had. They could either breach the hospital wall to try to get to this person, or they could deploy a rope rescue. And it sounds like the person that was stuck said, "I'll take the rope." Yeah. So that's exactly what they did. And everyone got out safe and sound, but it's one of those things, a situation you never want to be in,
they
right?
went full Mission Impossible.
Yes, they did.
Yeah. All right.
How long were they in there?
It didn't say, but I would imagine a decent amount of time. I mean, one, you realize it's not moving, right? You hit that little call button.
Yeah.
Then you got to get the fire department over. They got to get in. They had a technician there that says, "Oh, we need major repairs if we're going to move this."
So it was
a long
stuck
time
in a position where you couldn't go out the top or the bottom.
Yes.
It was fully covered by the wall.
Yes.
Wow.
So then when you start thinking, your mind goes to places. That's when I would have been like,
oh, I would have. Yeah, I would.
Here.
The worst thing I think would be to escape out the door, and whether it's stuck where you can come out the floor or they're going to breach the wall, because I would think at that moment is when it all of a sudden jars loose.
Exactly.
And then
I have those same thoughts, John. I would have as well.
So I would go for the rope rescue.
Me too.
I would also have to ask that during that they'd have to play the Mission Impossible theme song.
They probably were.
Yeah.
At least in their head. Maybe they hummed it. Ben Johnson was interviewed by a CBS Sports sideline reporter on Sunday at halftime of the game against the Raiders. And while the interview started as most would, it ended with what is now a viral moment. And after the game, he did say that he was disappointed in that sideline interview.
There's a lot that goes into being a head coach.
And it did sound like I've heard that sound now, I don't know, 10 times. And every time I've heard it, I never heard her say, do you need to? I heard it, so you need to. Yeah. So
You're
I
not
understand.
playing your brand of football, so you need to make some changes.
So I
Don't be
understand
offended.
what he heard, not the question. But it does sound, apparently she did ask the question, do you need to change what you're doing?
Yeah.
Why wouldn't the answer be from every coach? Yes. Yes, we're going to go in the second half and fix the bad things and do more of the good things. Yes, we're going to make changes. Why be so offended by it?
Because it sounded, I think in that moment, I probably would have been like, don't tell me what to do. Like, I would have felt that way. Like, somebody telling me you need to change what you're doing without asking the question.
Yeah.
He had already
I can
confirmed he needed to change
understand.
what they were doing. Anyway, whatever. You're right. A lot goes into being a head coach. Adrenaline's pumping.
Mm-hmm.
That's Heather with the
to
news.
Take a deep breath.
We've got the 2 Grand Slam coming up at 7:25. Dan Campbell at 8:02. Coming up next, it's Greg Palm. Oregon finally beats somebody. Where do they check in? It's 97.1.
Hey, you guys, it's Heather, and if you're like me, you like knowing what to expect, especially when it comes to your phone bill. Well, Verizon's got some big news for your peace of mind. For the first time ever, they're locking in low prices for 3 years. That's right, 3 years guaranteed with my plan. So if you're thinking about making the switch to Verizon, this is for you. You can get a single line for a low price of just $50 a month when you switch and bring your phone on unlimited welcome with autopay plus taxes and fees. And again, that price is locked in for 3 whole years because at Verizon, they've got your back now and in the future. So go ahead, take one thing off your worry list. Visit your local Verizon store in Detroit and ask about their 3-year price guarantee today. $20 monthly promo credits applied over 36 months with the new line on unlimited welcome. In times of congestion, unlimited 5G and 4G LTE may be temporarily slower than other traffic. Domestic data roaming at 2G speeds. Price guarantee applies to then current base monthly rate. Additional terms and conditions apply.
All right, I'm going to get out in front of this. Greg has his top 12 teams. These are a snapshot in time, not where the rankings will be at the end of year, but what has happened so far this season. Greg, take him to it.
All right, so we're in week 6 now, and there's a lot of data volatility going on with early season results here. Part of that, too, is the extra bye week. An extra Saturday here in the calendar means teams have an extra bye week. It's happening early, so teams are cycling up and down the rankings. Overheard a little birdie before the show asking, when does this become normal? My smarmy answer would be, does it ever? This is college football. But my true response to that would be, there are resume-boosting games, some separator games this week and next. Then I think we're going to see the rankings settle in. So let's start here with number 12, starting from 12, counting up to number 1. Number 12 is Alabama. A Remember Us game on Saturday. That's 10 of 11 against Georgia. And they don't even have a, well, that was Saban excuse because DeBoer's now got the last 2 in this series.
Ooh, wow. Hitting it early.
And they got the Greg Palm game of the week here. They are hosting Vanderbilt, who is 21st in the rankings, 5-0 Vandy. The SEC, it's a bit of a grab bag right now. There are 11 teams in the top 30 of Greg Palm, and this is 2 of those 11 squaring off. It's a revenge game for Bama. It's a validation game for Vandy.
And on the subject of Alabama, they are the current betting favorites in the SEC, but it is a wide-open conference.
It is. You mentioned 11 in the top 30 of Greg Palm. How many Big Ten teams in the top 30? I don't know if you... I'm asking questions that no one has answers
Classic.
for. Yeah.
That is some math.
Okay, we'll come back to it.
Circle back.
We can circle back at some point. And I asked a question about, when does this normalize? Because I do know that obviously early in the season, non-conference games, all of those things kind of throw this up. And as we go, I do think we will start to see it, quote unquote, normalize. Not that it's going to match the coaches poll or the AP poll or the college football playoff committee, but it does become much, much similar.
Yep.
Number 11 is one of those Big Ten teams, John, so you can start counting. It's Oregon, 5-0. First win of note they've had Saturday night. Now, they're getting those Penn State wins. We've mentioned earlier, Penn State's wins don't currently have a lot of weight to them. So when you're Oregon, bank the win, let the Penn State wins accumulate, you'll get more opportunities. And the big opportunity they're getting is a bye week, and then Indiana comes to Oregon.
Huge game in 2 weeks. Here's the thing with Penn State. They haven't beat a Power 5 opponent, a Power 4 opponent yet this season. So when they do, it's going to even reflect better on Oregon's resume.
Quick note on Penn State's schedule. It's either tomato can or powerhouse until late November for them.
Yep.
Number 10 is Georgia Tech. Fortunate to win? Yes. Does Greg Palm factor in fortunate? No. I'm happy for that because I would have had egg on my face if I touted their easy schedule last week. They have a bye week before playing Virginia Tech. Number 9 is Oklahoma. Still 4-0. Didn't get paid at all this week. They had a bye week. Michigan and Temple did not play. Auburn lost. And their 4th win is FCS Illinois State. You don't get residual wins from that. So the key for them, survive without Mateer with a broken hand. Michael Hawkins Jr. will be the quarterback playing. He did play last year where they had all those injuries at wide receiver. 7 games last year, 120 passes. So there's some experience they have.
And I think this is where we will see some volatility. And if they can just keep the ship afloat without John Mateer, the big question is moving forward, it has nothing to do with Greg Palm right now, is will he be back before the Red River rivalry?
Probably not. That's right after Kent State.
A couple weeks.
Yep.
Number 8 is Miami of Florida. Quirky schedule that they have here. They're going by Florida State by. The mega game nature was taken out of this game after FSU's loss to Virginia. But the stakes here that we still have for Miami, they can essentially knock Florida State out of the ACC race early with Miami undefeated. We just mentioned Georgia Tech. That's putting Florida State behind the 8 ball in the ACC.
Got to have a game this week.
Number 7 is Missouri. Wins against Kansas and South Carolina. They're going to start getting SEC tested here. A lot of teams to sort through, like we've mentioned. They just beat UMass. So, of course, after you play UMass, what do you need? You need a bye week. Number 6, Iowa State. 5-0 after a convincing win over unbeaten Arizona. BYU and Arizona State are on the horizon for them. They do not play Texas Tech or Utah.
Driver's seat for the Big 12.
Yeah, and quick, they started off the season with that win over Kansas State, who was ranked at the time, but they're not getting much from them, are they?
No, but Kansas State did just win this past week, so it is something for them.
Okay.
Number 5 is Illinois.
What?
4-1. This is a reminder. Margin of victory or defeat has no impact in the rankings. So, lose by 53, win by 2 on the last second field goal. It's all the same. They beat previously unbeaten USC.
Okay, so I know you don't factor in the way you win and lose in terms of how it looks or how it feels, but you don't factor in the margin of defeat at all?
Did you win? Did you lose? That's it.
Wow. Oh, wow. Hey. Illinois, that's why Illinois is at 5. That's why I said, is this going to normalize?
Well, they'll lose some games and they'll fall down.
Yes.
We shall see. They've got a game against Ohio State later this year. By the way,
like
Ohio State doesn't have a lot of chances.
Well, not later this year. In 2 weeks, they play Ohio State. If they can get through that tough trip to West Lafayette.
The Illabuck will be on the line.
Number 4 is Texas A&M. Lots of SEC's teams to eliminate, like we have mentioned. Aggies did us a favor taking care of Auburn, so we're not going to hear from them again, I don't think. Mississippi State is their next opponent. At Kyle Field, Mississippi State narrowly lost to Tennessee. They beat Big 12 contender Arizona State. So MSU, the real MSU, they are 28th in the rankings, and they are kind of one of these SEC contenders we got to sort through.
Okay.
Number 3 is Ohio State. 6 for 6. They've never left the rankings. Knocked off 3-0 Washington last week. Big Ten opportunities are going to be coming. They already had that early bye week. And by the way, Ohio, a sneaky good resume booster for them. They're the highest rated MAC team in our rankings, and they are currently the MAC favorites. Ohio State's hosting Minnesota this week.
Yeah, I think a lot of credibility for Ohio State going out west this last weekend, playing Washington. I know there wasn't a number next to Washington, but that was an undefeated team.
Washington's a good team.
And that's a good team. And Ohio State, their final drive of the first half and their first drive of the second half were statement drives, and they won the game going away.
Ooh, the middle eight. The new coaching point. All right, so if Illinois is number 5 in these rankings, then the team that beat them by the aforementioned 53 points must be really high in this rankings, and they are. Number 2 is Indiana. Did not have Peacock available at my dad's house this weekend where I watched college football on Saturday. I would have rather watched this game than seeing the U.S. get bitch-slapped in the Ryder Cup. This team's good. They're getting the boost from Illinois, and we are going to see a triumvirate round robin forming in the Big Ten between Indiana, Oregon, and Penn State. All 3 of those teams will play each other. The next of those series is going to be in 2 weeks. We mentioned it, Indiana at Oregon.
Yeah, if Indiana removes the who's the Indiana from this year, well, it's Indiana because of who they're playing in the Big Ten schedule. Eventually, the Big Ten schedule will get tougher. But Kirk Cignetti, the next thing for him is not just to go to the transfer portal to get a quarterback. The next thing is, hey, instead of playing ODU, Kennesaw State, or Indiana State, is put a Power 5, Power 4 team in that non-conference, and then we won't have to talk about, is Indiana this year's Indiana?
And I think that's almost a disservice to Indiana because to me it says Indiana's good.
That's what I'm talking about.
Right.
Yeah, so don't play those 3 non-conference games. Play 2 of them, but then play one where you're playing against somebody that gives you some credit. Because if they did, I don't think we're looking at them as number 2. I think they're probably number 1 in Greg Baum.
Well, number 1 is pretty exciting. Hotty toddy, gosh almighty. It's the Ole Miss Rebels. That is 2 wins over undefeated teams in back-to-back weeks. And Tulsa won again on Saturday, by the way. Shout out to Trinidad Chambliss from D2 Ferris State right here in Big Rapids, Michigan. He played in in front of a crowd larger than the previous 2 years of home games at Ferris State combined.
Yep.
Ole Miss's next game, they have a bye week, and then the EA Sports rando-generated scheduled game of the year, Washington State at Ole Miss on October 11th.
In the month of October, they'll face Georgia on the road and Oklahoma on the road. It's going to get tough for the Rebels. That's Greg Palm. It's 97.1.
Value-driven banking begins with First Merchants Bank. When I have a question about my finances, of course, I turn to my bank, and that's First Merchants Bank. I know that their attentive local bankers are 100% interested in listening to my situation and in helping me find the answers that I need. First Merchants doesn't provide cookie-cutter solutions or check-off boxes when it comes to financial advice. They're going to take the time to learn about my life, my personal financial goals, and work with me to build a plan that fits my situation. And that's because First Merchants Bank really cares. They see me as a person, not just as a number, and they're going to do all they can to help their customers and communities succeed. You can count on that, since First Merchants Bank is staffed by local bankers who know and are passionate about the needs of the local community, because it's their community as well, and we all have to work together to help it continue to prosper. To get started on your personalized financial solution today, you can visit them at firstmerchants.com. That's firstmerchants.com. First Merchants Bank, helping you prosper. Member FDIC.
Two Grand Slam coming up at 7:25. A chance to win $2,000 if you can get all 10 questions correct. Dan Campbell, 8:02 on a Tuesday. Back into more of a normal game week now. Except we have playoff baseball going on. Mm-hmm. And, John, we're going to spend a bunch of time with the Tigers today. You are part of the TIT movement. Tigers in 2.
Oh, yeah.
Tigers in 2. That's what you said to start the show.
Yes. I did not do the
acronym?
The acronym, no. I'm going to refrain from any comments, but yes, I am part of...
They're all about the Tigers in 2, baby!
Yes, Tigers in 2.
Are you on board? 248-539-9797.
I mean, how many times can I say yes?
Give us a honk, 248-539-9797. Let us know.
And the reason I'm on board is I sent you guys, we talked about it yesterday, and I had to do some research. I did a little bit of research. It wasn't voluminous. There's only been, 3 years where they have the expanded playoffs. But the teams that have won Game 1 in the wild card series of the new expanded format in Major League Baseball win Game 1 and you win the series. Most likely, you do it in 2. So Tigers in 2 because they have the best pitcher in the American League. We can't say in baseball anymore because we have to have that debate about Paul Skeens, which we can do in the offseason. But the Tigers in 2 because Skubal's on the mound, and he is going to go as long as he needs to go. And this is where you need your ace to step up and be an ace. This is where you need him to, I don't care if it's 85 pitches, if it's 95 pitches, if it's 125 pitches. This is where he needs to be the Cy Young Award winner.
And you're not just throwing this out here as I hope.
No.
This is what the odds are suggesting is going to happen. The Tigers are favored to win today, and by power of the stat you gave, they are favored to win this series. So, all of it was for nothing. This collapse and angst and anguish is for nothing because the Tigers get a clean slate, and you believe in the clean slate theory.
Well, it's not all for nothing because you have to do all of that to get into the postseason.
No, I know, but you get what I'm saying. The dread of September, that feeling is gone. It's you snap your fingers, you hit the reset button. You have, the team publicly has, we want to know if fans have, 248-539-9797.
Pressure is gone. And you could say pressure is gone for Cleveland. Pressure is gone because they're playing with house money too. So you have two very similar teams, but the pressure is off of the bats. And I think that pressure absolutely crushed them down the stretch. And it was crushing everyone except maybe, Spencer Torkelson and Dylan Dingler.
Yeah.
But we're going to see both of them in the lineup. And you're going to have an opportunity for Kerry Carpenter, Riley Green, Gleyber Torres, all of these players to get back to what they were early in the season because they're footloose and fancy free. Not a lot of people are picking them to win because of, hey, you have no momentum going into the postseason. And I think that celebration, and I know that there's some people that, hey, I've got a problem with the celebration. You don't. I don't care. That is all in the past. That was the moment of release for this team. The pressure is gone. They popped that top. All right, and all of a sudden, now all of a sudden we get a chance to just play baseball and be more like the team that we saw in the first 100 to 110 games versus what we saw at the end of the season.
So let's talk baseball. Tarik Skubal's a huge advantage. He was a huge advantage the last couple times they faced Cleveland and got to have at spots too. They have to hit. They have to support their starting pitcher. That's my issue. Cleveland is top 5 in baseball in ERA. They're a staff that they're going to throw at you beyond just who starts the game tonight and Gavin Williams. They're going to throw all kinds of bullpen chess pieces out there, and Tigers have a propensity to swing and miss, to not draw walks, to not manufacture runs. This is playoff baseball. That's my big fear. Not that Skubal's going to lay an egg today, is that they're not going to take advantage of having Tarik Skubal on the mound, which is the painful reality of late. Mm-hmm. You know, I looked back at those Scooble starts. They scored 3 total runs in the 2 starts against the Guardians at the end of the season. They hit 161 with 29 strikeouts, only 6 walks. That's my big fear, is that they just don't hit today. And now Cleveland, despite not having the better pitcher, has control of the series because they have the better pitching. We have a guy, they have a staff.
Okay, yeah, no question about that. And so if this is shaping up to be an unbelievably torturous end of the season, we all know, and there's a lot of people that don't waste my time. I can't believe you made the postseason. All of that stuff. But this is a torturous team. The only way to follow up a torturous regular season is with the possibility of a torturous postseason. I gave you the stat, 12-0 for the team that wins game 1. Somebody eventually, in the history of baseball, it hasn't happened through 3 years, but in the future, and maybe it's now, will win game 1 but not win the series.
So that would be the sick, twisted way this would go. The Tigers would win the Scooble start. We'd come in tomorrow. Hell yeah, here we go. We're doing it. And then they lose back-to-back games. Yeah. So we want to check in with your confidence. Did you hit the reset button? Do you believe the Tigers win this series as the book does? That the Cleveland Guardians are the underdogs in this spot and the Tigers are the favorites? Let's get to William and Flint. William, good morning.
Hey, good morning, guys. The first points you were making were totally wrong. The last points you were making are totally right. And I love the Tigers. The first game I ever saw was 1961. Yankees 9, Tigers nothing. Maris hit a home run. For the last 6 weeks, the dirty little secret is Scooble has been average. He's been walking people. He's been throwing pitches in the middle of the plate. And he's been way worse against Cleveland than Gavin Williams has been against the Tigers, who's been nuts. And the game tonight will probably be about 5-1 because we don't get a 2-run single in the first. We'll get a couple guys on in the second. We might even load the bases in the third. And all we need is a freaking 2-out single by somebody like Jim Leland used to say, just a crummy single. But we have guys swinging from their heels or guys not going the other way. And I hope I'm wrong. I'm usually wrong. I'm dead wrong. I hope I'm wrong. But Gavin Williams is better against the Tigers than Scooble's been against Cleveland or anybody the last 6 weeks. I'll wait for your comments. I hope I'm wrong.
Yeah, I'm trying to get you your numbers in the last 6 weeks from Tarek Skubal because that's the thing I'll push back. He has not been average in the last 6 weeks.
No.
Tarek Skubal's last 6 starts, maybe that's a good place to start, a 1.75 ERA. In the last 6 starts, Tarek Skubal has been a superhero.
Yeah.
The concern is if they don't hit for him, they're going to waste it. Yeah. Like they wasted the lead they had.
And, I mean, if you want to say, okay, it's un-Skubal-like to have 8 Ks and 3 walks. That was the last time he faced Cleveland. Before that, it was 9 strikeouts, 2 walks. Then against Miami, it was only 2 strikeouts. And this is the one he exited early, and everybody held their breath. No walks, but it's like he's not a guy that's going to walk a lot of batters.
Right, so think about that. In that wonky, weird start against Miami, factoring that in, he still has a 1.75 ERA in the last 6 starts. He's been incredible. I know it's weird. Like, pitchers do walk people. Skubal was so ridiculous early in the year that he would go starts with walking 0 or 1.
Yeah.
It's normal that a major league starter would walk 2 batters in a game. And you can still be a damn good ace doing it, and he has been for, a month, 2 months, 3 months, however you want to slice it. He is the big advantage. He's the reason that you're favored, that the Tigers enter with some real shot here. And that advantage shrinks in a 5-game or a 7-game series, but in a best of 3?
Right, and this literally comes down to, I think you're going to get a really good performance by Skubal. This comes down to, can the bats fire up enough to just give him some run support? And today, I'm telling you, they do.
1 o'clock game.
We don't have to wait long.
Let us know. Tigers in 2, are you on board? It's 97.1.
Brought to you by Northville Lumber. The Tigers kick off the postseason today with a best-of-3 series against the Guardians. The two AL Central teams squaring off today with a 1:08 first pitch carried right here on 97.1 The Ticket. Tarik Skubal taking the mound, and despite this being a game on the road, he feels very comfortable playing at Progressive Field. Despite a historic collapse in the month of September to lose the division, the Tigers are still favored to win the series. The Lions prepare for their matchup against the Cincinnati Bengals this Sunday. Detroit also entering in as heavy favorites. That big part due to the Bengals being without Joe Burrow as he heals from a toe injury. The Lions with their own injury issues. Terrion Arnold leaving the game against Cleveland with a shoulder injury. Dan Campbell saying that bump may only have him sidelined for this Sunday and nothing further. And despite being carted off on Sunday, DJ Reed's injury isn't expected to be season-ending. In college football this weekend, number 20 Michigan hosting Wisconsin while MSU hits the road to face Nebraska. And preseason hockey continuing tonight for the Red Wings as they play in Chicago against the Blackhawks. Detroit losing their third straight preseason game yesterday 2-1 against the Penguins. From the Ticket Update Desk, I'm Dustin Fiocco. For details on these stories and more, you can stay tuned or also head to 971theticket.com.
A lot of positive vibes. Gator came into the crosstalk yesterday and said, well, now we can play free and loose. Tigers got them right where they want them. The betting markets have shifted. Tigers are favored to win the series. Valeni came in yesterday and did Tigers in 2. John, this morning, you echo TIT.
Yep.
Tigers in 2. There's a lot of positivity and optimism, and we want to know, are people able to hit the reset button on what was the disastrous end of the regular season and acknowledge, hey, Skubal on the mound, big edge in a 3-game series. Tigers win the series. Let us know. Let's get to Joe in a truck. Joe, you're on 97.1.
Good morning, fellas. What a great merchandising shirts those would make. You know, have like the big TIT, but have like Tigers in 2. What they want to do is they want to get out of the series very quickly. So let's say you get to game 2 and you're up 3-2 in the 8th, right? I am opening up that bullpen to everybody, including the third starter, because the next series doesn't start till Saturday. You get out of the series very quickly, so all hands on deck. What do you think?
Well, I think if they're up in the 8th, absolutely. If they're up in the 6th, they're going to empty the bullpen and try and close it out in 2 games. They don't want to go to a third game at all. I don't know that they empty it so much that they go to their third starter, but
Yeah, I don't think they'd go that far.
no, but they're going to use every single matchup that they possibly can.
Yeah, so if Mize starts game 2, Flaherty's not pitching in game 2.
No.
And if Flaherty pitches game 2,
Mize
Mize
is
will be
not,
saved for a potential game 3. 248-539-9797. You know, I think we've hit on a couple guys who have to be big. Kerry Carpenter.
Yeah.
You got a righty on the mound. You're going to get multiple at-bats against him. You were a postseason hero a season ago. Great spot for Kerry Carpenter. Riley Green, if we're truly hitting the reset button, this was a Tiger All-Star. He's got a great matchup with a righty on the mound. Gavin Williams is good. Riley Green's got to be a star. Right?
Riley Green's got to be a star. Gleyber Torres just needs to be him. Consistent. A guy that doesn't swing outside the box. The guy that just is in the right place at the right time. What he was up until September.
Yeah. Again, they're going to have Jose Ramirez, and he's going to have a big knock. And Kwan, whether it's on Skubal or the Tiger bullpen, is going to play a factor in this game. The Tiger bats need to match, equal, and better Cleveland. Cleveland does not have a good lineup, but they do the little things, and they're going to end up gnawing away at you with a bloop single and an infield dribbler, and the Tigers just can't strike out. They're going to have to put bat on ball and give Skubal a little bit of breathing room.
You know what? That's the other thing that this Tiger team has to get back to. It's not just the stability of the pitching, the dominance of the pitching with Skubal. It's doing the little things right in the field, not giving up that extra 90 because you're trying to do too much. Well, like we saw Skubal do in the 6th inning, like that hike between his legs. I don't know where that came from. I don't think we'll ever see it again. But it happened in that moment. But it's all those little things that early in the season the Tigers weren't allowing, but they were also being aggressive on the base path. They were the best team first to third.
Need to get that grip back.
Yeah.
Dan Campbell, by the way, speaking of crit, going to join us 8:02 today. We'll talk to the Lions head coach. Some ticket text on where you're at with the Tigers. Is it Tigers in 2, or you just can't hit the reset button? You've seen Scooble in an advantage spot, and you've seen this team waste him. Text says maybe we could just motorboat through the playoff series.
That's a great option.
Just like John, I'm very pro team TIT. I'm also team BRA, being really awesome. They need to lift this team up when they're sagging. That's from Scott.
Killing me this morning.
John, you can't be that ignorant. We lost when Scooble pitched during our collapse, just like when anybody else pitched. Our season will end on Wednesday.
There is that possibility.
Cleveland can only win so many games before it runs out. Tigers in 2, Damon and Grand Blanc.
Odds are in your favor.
They got to cool off at some point. I think the one day off is going to erase this team putting up the worst month of September. You really think that? It's Guardians in 2 non-competitive games. Not on board, Cleveland in 2. Guardians don't fear Scooble. That was TJ's point yesterday.
Yeah.
Guardians in 2. Get?
Yeah, well, yeah, no.
Having Tarek Scooble on the mound is not the automatic win we all think it is. We've lost the past number of starts with him. If he gives us 6 to 8 scoreless, we're still going to lose the game because the offense is atrocious and this bullpen has been terrible. It's 2 of the most ridiculous things I've ever heard. Okay.
Question. If they win this series, does it erase the collapse?
No.
Really?
You think it does? You think getting back to where they got a year ago erases the collapse? No longer, still no division title, still no berth to the ALCS. You think that erases the collapse?
I'm a little torn on it, I'll be honest. I'm kind of sitting on the fence with that because
I don't think, I mean, you have to advance further than last year, right?
we thought their ceiling was ALCS, right? I know me and you agreed on that. The last 2 months of the season, we didn't think they had the pitching to get to the World Series.
Right.
Correct.
But winning a 3-game series, something they did last year as a wild card team, doing it again as a wild card team, it just doesn't hit the same.
Right, but then you go to preseason expectations, and most people had them not in the playoffs.
Okay, well, if I go to trade deadline expectations, people had them in the World Series.
Right.
As the best team in the American League. So did they sandbag, and now we get to accept less?
I think if it's because they're playing the Guardians, and that's a team they collapsed to, that it takes some of the sour taste out of your mouth.
I don't know that there's any way that they win a 5-game series. I don't think, and there's certainly no way that they win a 7-game series. But in a best of 3 with Scooble on the mound and the fact that they're able to simply hit the reset button. And I don't have the ability right now to say that September didn't happen. But as an athlete, you have to be able to have that reset moment. They didn't do it when it mattered because that pressure continued to build. When are you going to get that last win? When are you going to clinch the division? Now, all of a sudden, all of that is removed, and they're just simply playing one game. Can you not tell me in this game against the Guardians with Scooble on the mound that they can't just go out there and win one game?
They can. And I just feel like we said that a week ago and 2 weeks ago and 3 weeks ago. Look, they can repair. Tom, you want to say, does it wash away? They can repair some of the damage done to their fan base by taking this series, beating the Guardians, winning a playoff series. These are all good things. But they got to go further than last year for this to be a successful season.
I would agree with that. And, you know, I think the big thing for me right now is there is very little playoff buzz going on right now in this city. It is so opposite of last year because they collapsed versus finishing so strong. It's just amazing. People coaches in sports always say you are what your record is, right? Mm-hmm. That's nonsense to fans.
It's what have you done for me lately?
Yeah, it's how they did it. They won one more game than last year, but because of how they did it, people are like completely like whatever.
A couple more.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No. I know it's hard to hit that reset button. It's hard to understand that after the month of September. I just believe that there is a path because you're not looking at an unbelievably difficult. You already mentioned it. It's not a great lineup that the Guardians have.
No, it's like 2 dudes. maybe 3.
Tigers in 2.
It's right there. John's part of it. TIT. People love the acronyms. Bring on October, baby.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
You got it?
I got
All
it.
right,
Yes,
good.
yes.
Perfect.
Sorry, I had to. I'm not as fast as some people are.
Look, our texters are witty. They're on top of it today. We want to know about this series. It starts today at 1 o'clock. Where are you at with the Tigers? Are you suddenly hitting that reset button and saying, hey, it's Scooble, we're winning, or you having a hard time getting there? Because I do not see it the way John does. And that's okay. There's room for both discussion points today. It's 97.1.
Every law firm talks about experience. David Femminineo has decades of it, going up against insurance companies and winning for his clients. But here's what makes him different. He knows the only experience that really matters is yours. When you're in a car accident, you care about your well-being. You want someone who's going to listen to you, someone who works hard for you, and someone that's going to get paid. David gets that. Your experience matters, and when he fights for you, not his resume. If you've been injured, all you got to do is call 855-65-CRASH, or you can visit him on the web at getdavidgetpaid.com. That number again, 855-65-CRASH, or on the web at getdavidgetpaid.com.
Lions fans, it's time to roar louder than ever. We got a first-place team right now. The 2025 season is here, and so is the ultimate way to celebrate. 1800 Tequila. The world's most awarded tequila is back as the official tequila of our Detroit Lions. From pregame tailgates to postgame celebrations, 1800 Tequila brings smooth, bold flavor to every moment. Sip it in a sideline margarita or enjoy it straight. Either way, you're raising your glass to a championship season. Make 1800 Tequila part of your game day lineup all season long. Victory never tasted so good. 1800 Tequila, official tequila of the Detroit Lions. Proximo, 1800tequila.com. Please drink responsibly. Before the 2 Grand Slam, we got the news.
Yeah, so there's a fan that has been labeled as the NFL's Phillies Karen, and she is now going viral after she swiped a Patrick Mahomes headband right out of the hands of a little boy after the Chiefs beat the Giants. So you can see in this video, Mahomes is walking over to the stands after their win, and he's like leaning towards this boy who was there actually celebrating his 10th birthday. And as Mahomes reaches out to hand the kid the headband, which the kid actually had it in his hand. Like, he handed it to the kid. This woman, who was a Giants fan, reaches across and grabs it out of this little boy's hand.
Actually takes it out of the kid's hand.
The boy had it in his hand. Wow. And she gets it. And video, of course, of the incident has now gone viral, and the internet is just tearing her apart. Well, the woman, who has been identified as Nina Miller, posted a video after the fact, a pretty defiant video where she does admit that, okay, maybe the headband was meant for this little boy, but she didn't realize it at the time. So that obviously made things even worse. So she posted a follow-up video to that video where she dropped some of the attitude, and she said she'd like to make it right and get the headband to that little boy. And of course, now people are just saying that she's only sorry because she was caught. Yeah.
It was meant for the kid. You stole it from him.
For sure. Like,
you are a thief.
You can see it in the video. You guys, a 21-year-old man is in custody after trying to pass a barricade that was protecting the perimeter of the Grand Blanc Church shooting. So law enforcement took the man into custody on Monday. They're still trying to determine whether the incident is connected to the attack at the church or not. There was a witness there that saw the arrest that also claims to have seen what appeared to be a long gun removed from this man's vehicle. Obviously, everything is unfolding, right? But the arrest of this man comes during really a tense moment for the community that's still reeling from the attack that left 5 dead, including the suspect, numerous wounded. In other news, Ben Johnson, he's got regrets over how he handled a halftime interview during his team's Week 4 win against the Raiders. He has regrets over how it was received. So the Bears were trailing when he was interviewed by a CBS Sports sideline reporter, and here's what went down. So following the game, he explained that he was disappointed with how he responded to this woman. And afterward, there were some people, obviously, who were criticizing his response and how he handled that interview. But there was others who were surprised that he didn't act differently. There was John Gruden who responded, and he said, quote, "For Ben Johnson not to take the microphone and slam it on the ground is a real credit to him."
Oh, I don't know about that. Look, she asked a follow-up question. You're not playing Bears football, so you need to change things. She was following up on the comment he had made.
It's not the first time he's talked to her, and there's a lot that goes into being a head coach. And at halftime, whether it's going in to halftime or coming out of halftime, you're going to be faced with some of those questions. Got to take a deep breath and handle it a little bit better than he did.
Like, even if she had said, you need to change things, like, he did. They were losing.
Yeah.
Don't take it out on her.
So, two-time U.S. Ryder Cup captain Tom Watson is ashamed of the behavior of the U.S. fans and actually apologized to the winning European team. So on X, he wrote, "I'd like to congratulate Ryder Cup Europe," he tagged them, "on their victory. Your team play, the first few days was sensational. More importantly, I'd like to apologize for the rude and mean-spirited behavior of our American crowd at Bethpage. As a former player, captain, and as an American, I'm ashamed of what happened." And we discussed some of the behavior, that the constant heckling, right? The insults, the throwing of a cup of beer towards players and their wives, spouses, things like that were going on for sure. So I can understand that. Hey, this is your time to win $2,000. Give us a call now, 248-539-9797. Finally, you guys, a relationship coming to an end. Nicole Kidman and Keith Urban have split after 19 years of marriage. The two have allegedly been living apart since the beginning of the summer, and they have two daughters. She's been caring for their two daughters, 14 and 17 years old. A source says that she was trying to save the marriage, didn't want the separation, but so is life, I guess. Unfortunately, things have come to an end. Thoughts and prayers.
Yeah.
I'm looking at you. I haven't been through a divorce. I know that's...
No, it's...
Gosh.
Yeah.
All right. We got some money to give away.
Sucks for all involved.
It does.
Especially the children.
For sure. Give away some money.
Yeah, let's do that. All right, let's give away some money. We all know the rules. 10 questions, 60 seconds, $25 for each question answered correctly, and $2,000 if our contestant gets them all right. Simple as that.
Mm-hmm.
Easier said than
right?
done.
I know.
Yes.
Aaron in White Lake. Good morning. You're on 97.1.
Good morning.
Good morning. Hey, Aaron, how you doing?
Pretty good.
All right.
Hoping for a Tigers victory tonight.
Yeah.
Same.
Yep. Tigers in 2, right?
Tigers in 2. TIT.
There we go, I guess. All right, Aaron, you know the rules. If you don't know one, say pass. If there's enough time, we'll get back to it. But here we go. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. Who are the Detroit Lions playing this coming Sunday?
The Bengals.
Who are the Padres playing in the MLB playoffs?
Dodgers.
What is the capital of Illinois?
Evanston.
This team is currently in last place in the AFC South.
Baltimore.
This band had the 1995 hit 1979.
Pass.
Who led Major League Baseball in RBI in the 2025 regular season?
Shohei Ohtani.
Who wears jersey number 4 for the Detroit Lions?
Khalif Raymond.
Who played Dale in the 2008 movie Step Brothers?
Who played Dale?
Yep.
Will Ferrell.
Where did Jalen Duren play in college?
Pass.
Who does Michigan State play in football on Saturday?
Rutgers.
This band had the 1995 hit 1979.
Well, Aaron, you had an answer for almost everything, but the vast majority of them were wrong. We got you with 1.
1?
Yep.
Wow.
Yep. And you started off hot. You got the first one right. So
Oh, what a showing.
You had some confidence in your answers, at least.
At least they were answers, and it wasn't pass. So I appreciate you answering all the questions.
And some were good guesses if you didn't know the answer.
Yes.
But
just guessed wrong.
yeah, it's $25. We'll put you on hold. Don't spend it all in one place.
So he did start off hot.
He did.
Who are the Detroit Lions playing this coming Sunday? You got the Cincinnati Bengals.
Here we go.
And then it went downhill from there.
Who are the Padres playing?
Who did he say? The Dodgers?
He said the Dodgers. Good guess.
It's a good guess. It's a National League team, but no, they're playing the Cubs.
Right. What's the capital of Illinois? He said Evanston.
It is a city in Illinois, but not the capital. It'd be Springfield, Illinois.
The team that is in last place in the AFC South, he said the Baltimore Ravens.
Again, an AFC team, just not in the South. It's the Tennessee Titans.
This is a diabolical question. The band that had the 1995 hit 1979.
Smashing Pumpkins, which he passed on.
Yeah.
Do we know who had the 1979 hit in 1995?
Greg, we do not. Who led Major League Baseball in RBI in the regular season? Good guess, Shohei.
Yep, no, it'd be Kyle Schwarber.
Who wears the jersey number 4 for the Lions? He said Khalif Raymond.
It's DJ Reed.
Yeah. Who played Dale in the 2008 movie Step Brothers? Will Ferrell was in that movie.
He had a 50-50 shot, but no, it's John C. Reilly.
Where did Jalen Duren play in college?
He passed, so he didn't get it wrong, but it was Memphis.
And who does Michigan State play in football on Saturday?
Who did he say? Oh, he said Rutgers.
Which is a Big Ten team.
Yeah, it is a Big Ten team, but no, it would be the Nebraska Cornhuskers. So the 2 Grand Slam on Tuesdays is brought to you by Femminineo Law. Get David, get paid.
Was that too hard?
That was a tough one.
No, it was not too hard. So picking the opponents of National League teams, I get it. It's tough.
It's fair, though.
But it's those are fair questions. The AFC South, come on, the Tennessee Titans.
Yeah, that one. Come on.
And we
There's always a music question.
and there's always a not always,
a
but
geography question.
A geography
Yeah.
question. So the capital of Illinois. Come on, know your capitals. Let's go. This is the U.S. of A.
You know, the music questions are getting a little more challenging to come up with simply because everybody's with somebody. It's so and so with so and so and so and so and featuring, and
Yeah.
you just can't. We got time here. Trying to be fair to the listener.
You could have gone with the halftime. The new halftime for the Super Bowl, but you would have to have somebody that's bilingual.
Well, you could.
Stop.
Maybe that one will be in Thursday.
You're getting a little preview. Okay. Dan Campbell going to join us at 8:02 this morning. I'm looking down at what we have planned next, and it says there has to be a price paid for Jim Costa's AL Central burial. 97.1.
Hey, after a steamy summer and after a steamy weekend, we know that first blast of winter cold is right around the corner. Mastercraft Heating, Cooling, Plumbing, and Electrical will do a complete furnace checkup to make sure it's running properly, but most importantly, it's running safely. Right now, it's only $79. That's $30 off the regular price, so give them a call today because these spots are going to fill up, and they fill up quickly. Don't forget that Mastercraft also does plumbing, electrical, and they sell generators and install them as well. All at discounted prices, so do it now. You can find more information on the web at mastercraftheating.com. That's mastercraftheating.com.
There's a clip going around the internet. A lot of you tagged me in it. It's of this show. The date was June 30th. And I said the division was over.
Wow. It was June 30th. I thought it was like right after the 4th of July. It was even earlier than I thought.
We did the burial while you were gone around the 4th of July. But you were in this clip, John, and you were laughing at me declaring the division over on June 30th. So Old Takes Exposed has shared that. And yes, I'm aware that I got it wrong. The Tigers did not win the Central. They blew the largest lead in the history of baseball, something I didn't see coming, and a lot of you didn't see coming either. But I'll take the arrows. I was wrong.
Did they also include in that clip of not only the burial, but when we were out at Oakland Hills, you asking for apologies?
I would even go as far as to say demanding apologies.
Demanding apologies?
Yes. No, they left that one out, John.
Oh, well, let's make sure that that's
stated.
That's out there as well,
okay, John,
because not only, I mean, you doubled down on demanding apologies.
Triple down and all that good stuff. Got it wrong. So what you want to know is there a price that needs to be paid for being wrong? I mean, that just comes with the job.
It does, but I mean, there's some lunacy in doing it so early. And the fact that one, Michael Steven Stone was not the, and I don't know that, I say, should he have been the voice of reason?
Yeah, but he's not going to.
Greg's giving me a look like that's not possible.
You thought he should have imparted some of that veteran wisdom.
The wisdom that comes with
decades
and decades of experience. Tom, were you here?
He was here.
Yeah, I was here. No, Stoney's wisdom would be to bury him.
Yeah, he
buried several people in the past, and it bit him in the butt too.
So, but that's why after years of doing it and knowing that it can and most likely will bite you,
Stoney doesn't learn from his mistakes.
So I guess the question is, will Jim Costa, young 32-year-old impulsive Jim Costa?
What I'd like to do, John, we can collect suggestions.
You want to blame others?
No.
Oh, okay.
No. What I want to do is offer up the city of Detroit a present, a gift.
Oh, okay. And that is, I mean, come tied in a bow?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's unravel this bow. Just a little pull. What's in the present?
Well, if you look in there, it is a lock.
Oh. Are we going to get a Costa Lock?
I would like to Costa Lock the Cleveland Guardians to win the wild card series toe-to-toe with the Detroit Tigers. And I don't care that the Tigers are favored, because I'm not going to get seduced into, we've got Scooble on the mound, we're in an advantage position. They are, and they were, and it didn't matter. This team doesn't hit. That's a great staff, not a one-pitcher team, a staff that Cleveland throws out in a bullpen to boot. They are the better pitching team. We don't hit.
Staff. I wouldn't call them great.
Top 5 in ERA in all of baseball, and this team can't hit a lick. So great. Scooble's on the mound. He'll leave the mound. The Tigers are still going to have to hit. They won't hit. Their season ends this week. Costa Lock.
We have it. And my apologies for trying to temper. This is what I would have done. It just by my nature. If I had been here, I would have tried to temper the burial. And now you're doing what we've asked you to do for so many weeks, is to somehow reverse the curse and the jinx and all of that. And now you're doing it, and I actually tried to hold you back.
Well, if people listen from the start of the show, you and I were bickering off the jump because you believe in resetting things and it's a clean slate and all of that, and that's fine. I can't do it. I can't do it because of who this team is and who they're playing and what this matchup means. It means the Guardians are going to put the ball in play and play postseason baseball and mix and match with their superior bullpen. It's going to mean the Tigers have to look at their lineup and try to find something. The last 2 times Tarek Skubal pitched against the Guardians, the Tigers hit 161, scored 3 total runs, and struck out 29 times over the 2 starts. That's who's playing today as well. Skubal's playing, and so are those guys.
How many runs do they score in this series?
The Tigers?
Yeah.
4.
4? All right. Well, then Cleveland in game 1, scores 2, and they win 3-2. And then they go 1-0 to win in game 2. There's your or maybe let's reverse that. Let's go 1-0 win because it's a Skubal start. He'll be the one that shuts him out.
No run support.
No run support. Yeah. No, they won. They got 1 run support. That's all Skubal should need.
You trust these bats in the playoffs?
To score 1 run? Yeah, I'm not.
It's more of a general question to people today.
One of the more fascinating things, I've been looking at the Tigers season stats, like batting average and that kind of stuff. Guess who led the Tigers in batting average in terms of qualified at-bats? That's a hint that Dingler doesn't count. Because he didn't have enough at-bats to qualify.
Glaber?
Nope. Let's see how many we
say
back
that
and
again?
forth. Who led the Tigers in batting average among players that have qualified at bats? Dingler is out.
Torque?
Nope.
Among qualified. It's not Green, right?
Nope.
This is painful. Is it McKinstry? Is it Fire Up Chips?
Yes.
All right.
259.
Postseason hero. He had a home run against the Guardians
All-star.
last year in the playoffs, and All-Star. There you go.
Yeah, well, let the chips fall where they may.
248-539-9797. Cookies, please stop making guarantees of our teams. Please, you're cursing them. Thanks. Stoney had to wax his chest when he buried the White Sox once upon a time. Josh in Warren.
That was in September of 2012. White Sox were up 3.
Stoney's
Tigers went to the World Series.
Stoney's a
hairy gentleman.
hairy individual.
Yeah,
I don't think that works well for you. I know you got.
I got some chest hair.
You got some chest hair.
Yeah, you want to see some chest hair?
No, I don't.
All right.
No.
I think the Twitch crowd wants to veto that. 248-539-9797. We want to talk about this Tiger series, and some of this is talking to you guys about it because you were more than happy to call in and complain about the team a week ago when things were going poorly. We have gotten very little buzz today for a playoff game being played in a matter of hours. If you're just not excited, let us know. Like, they've zapped you. You can't hit the reset button. You can't view it the way John views it or the way Gator views it, or I know Mike yesterday. Like, there's a lot of people on the station selling you Tigers are winning the series.
Yep.
Tigers in 2. 248-539-9797.
For 2 games, you're going to get what this team was in the first 100 games. You're going to get disciplined, good play in the field. You're not going to have errors that are giving up an extra 90 to any of these players. You're going to get really good center field play by whoever is out there. And you're going to get the best of Tarik Skubal. Tarik Skubal is pitching not because he knows what's happened in September, and he knows he pitched good, but he also knows the last time out, he was a part of the reason why they lost that game. The trouble with the snap, and that whole entire inning. Now, is he to blame for everything that happened in that inning? No, it's some dumb luck. But I'm not going into the postseason thinking that Cleveland's going to live on dumb luck.
No, but I think we may be overinflating Skubal for this game. He is an advantage, for sure. But he's not throwing 100 pitches in any of his postseason starts last year. And I don't expect him to pitch the entire game today. Eventually, Cleveland's going to do what they do and use the devil magic and score a couple runs, and it's going to put the target back on Detroit. For as much as we say there's no pressure on Detroit, this is still playoff baseball. You can't go in the postseason without pressure moments, and this team has to show they can deliver in those pressure moments.
If he wants a few extra now you're not going to get paid just because of one postseason start, especially in a wild card series. But you will be recognized for what you do or can't do in the postseason. Last time he was in the postseason, what happened?
He gave up the grand slam.
In Cleveland.
Yep.
And now all of a sudden he has a chance to change that conversation about him in the postseason. And that wasn't, again, the sole reason why they lost that game. They couldn't, with runners in scoring position, they couldn't knock anyone in.
Yeah.
But if you want to be the highest paid pitcher, you want to be known as the best pitcher in all of baseball, which I don't think he is anymore.
Skeens.
Yeah. You go out there, is Paul Skeens have an opportunity in the postseason?
Nope.
No. Tarek Skubal does. And we know the excitement. We know the energy of which he took the mound with to start the postseason last year.
All right, we got phone calls, ticket text. Your excitement level. Playoff baseball is here today. It's 97.1.
FanDuel's getting you ready for kickoff with an offer you won't want to miss. New customers can bet just $5 and get $300 in bonus bets, and all you have to do is win that bet. That's right. Pick a bet $5, and if it wins, you're going to unlock $300 in bonus bets to use anywhere in the app that you want. You can build parlays, bet player props, ride the live lines, whatever your style. As I mentioned, whatever you want, FanDuel's got you covered. The NFL season is approaching week 5. The only question is, 2 of them, why haven't you played, and are you ready to jump in the game? Visit FanDuel.com/971 Detroit to download the FanDuel app today and get started. That's FanDuel.com/971 Detroit. Must be 21 or over and present in Michigan. First online real money wager, only $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued as now. A trouble bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. If you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
We'll talk to Lions head coach Dan Campbell coming up in 10 minutes. To the phones we go. Your excitement level. Playoff baseball today. A week ago, we had the lines packed to people complaining. Mm-hmm. Feels like there's much less buzz today. John, you think they're winning the series?
I do. I think they're going to win it, and I think they're going to win it in 2. It's not frequent that, in fact, it's never happened that a team winning game 1 loses the series. It's more frequent that they win in 2.
Right. If you win game 1, you win the series. It's happened in all 12 series since they expanded the format. Mm-hmm. Tigers are favored today. They send Scooble to the mound. Paul in Madison Heights, good morning.
Hi. You know, the reason why you're not getting a lot of run on this topic right now is a lot of people just don't care. When Scott Harris did next to nothing to make the team better, he actually made the team worse. At the trading deadline, a lot of people signed off. The team may have even signed off for a period of time. I'm pretty much focused on Honolulu Blue and Silver right now.
Okay, I get that, but they don't play until Sunday. And the Tigers are going to play at 1:00 today. You're going to tell me that you're not going to whether sit down and watch or tune in or listen and be rooting for the Tigers?
I'll watch and I'll listen, but you know what? I'm not going to be emotionally invested like I was in the past. Not even close. They knocked the care right out of me when they did nothing at the trade deadline. They actually made this team worse. So
yeah, but now they're in the postseason because they got a shot of.
It doesn't matter when people don't care. They're going to watch other things or do other things.
Look, I think everybody's different. You can fan however you want. I wasn't happy about the deadline. I'm excited to see my team play in the playoffs. I hope I'm wrong about my series prediction, and I hope they win every game. I'm a fan at heart. I want this team to win. So even if you're unhappy with your team, they're in the playoffs. It's not postseason schmo season.
No.
That's what he said. Come on.
I mean, we're going to talk to Dan Campbell in about 6 or 7 minutes. And when that's done, we are going to be fiending for more Lions football come Sunday. But between now and then, we've got Tigers postseason baseball. And I know that September was not great. In fact, it was awful. But they did enough through 162 to earn a spot in the postseason, and now they get a chance to reset the scales and go out there and do something about it.
Everett in Southfield, good morning.
Good morning. I agree with the last caller. Here's my take. You know, I start losing interest when they, like in this month of September, when they reached 80 wins, I was hoping, I said the magic number to win, to get to the postseason, to win a Central Division title is 90. They could not do that. They lost, as a season ticket holder, the last 2 series that I went to, they lost to Cleveland and to Atlanta. So, yes, they are in the playoffs. I'm very happy about that. Would I tune in? Yes, but would I be emotionally invested? No. If they win, good. If they don't, I'm not surprised.
Appreciate it, Everett.
Everett, if they win today, are you going to be excited to see them play on Wednesday?
Yes, I will be. Yes, I will be. But I expect them to lose this series.